I'm telling you, this team finds every single week just a new way to frustrate everyone. Just a new way every single week, especially in tonight's game. It's just mind-boggling. It is so mind-boggling how an offensive breakdown just happens like that throughout, I would say, 75% of the game. 75%. It was bad. It was atrocious. The offense stunk. Offense stunk. The offensive line could not protect Carson. When most of the time when Carson did have some throws, he did have that some protection right there, and he had guys open. He overthrew them. But then you can also put some blame onto the wide receiver, the receivers in general. They couldn't get open from it all, and just Doug Peterson completely abandoning the run game once again. It felt like there was absolutely nothing with the run game. I'm looking at the stats right now. Only 14 carries on the rush. That's not good. That's not good whatsoever. And just, like I said, they find new ways. New ways every single week. And us as fans, we're just expecting to be just a bad game going into every single game now. We're expecting them to lose. But the Eagles were in this game. The Eagles had many chances throughout the entire night. You have to give credit to the defense. The defense was the only reason this team was within the game. The Seahawks are probably the most highest scoring team per game in the NFL. And the defense held them to 23 points. And I think their highest scoring quarters this season are the first and the third. The Eagles defense held the Seahawks in the first and the third quarter to only 3 points. Yes, Russell Wilson, he's going to do his damage no matter what because he is Russell Wilson. DK Metcalf, he did go off tonight. He had a career night. And it feels, and it's going to be that same situation with DK Metcalf and the Eagles. It's just like, oh, the Eagles missed out on DK Metcalf in the draft. They drafted Arcega-Whiteside. The Eagles had so many chances to pick up Metcalf. And yes, that is a good argument right there. They had so many chances in that draft. The Seahawks had, I think, 2 chances before they drafted him. And you can say the same thing about every other team during that draft that passed up on Metcalf. Every single team passed up on him until the Seahawks drafted him where he landed. So I understand the Eagles had many other draft picks in order to pick him, and we all know J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, what he is. Metcalf has more career anything than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I feel like everyone in the goddamn NFL has more anything than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. But I digress. It's just that simple hindsight thing. It just feels like it's one of those situations. I'm not going to get into that situation or that argument the entire time. Definitely not. It's just, he went off. He was going to do his damage. He is one of the best receivers in the league for a reason. They weren't afraid to go after Darius Slay. And Slay didn't have a terrible game. It's just you're going up against DK Metcalf, one of the best receivers in the league. You are going to get beat most of the night. I would say Darius Slay, he held his own, but he was going to get beat. That's just what happens when you're going up against Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. That's just what's going to happen. It's just obvious. But just the defense as a whole, they stepped up. The defense was the only reason they were in this game. On that first drive for Seattle, they were down to the 2-yard line on 4th and 2, and they managed to prevent them from getting any points. They managed. And they shut them down throughout the first quarter. They did. And then eventually Seattle did get things going in the second quarter. It's just because you're not going to hold the highest scoring team in the league with 0 points that long for an entire game. You're just not going to do that. It's not reality. And it's just the offense. The offense. Oh my. Going the entire first quarter without getting a first down. I have no words. I have absolutely no words to describe that. It's just, it's laughable. It's absolutely pathetic. It's so sad to watch that. It's just like I can't even get mad. It's that bad. It's so bad where I'm not even mad at it. It's just it's like I expected the Eagles to not play that good. I didn't expect it to be that bad. But the offense the past couple of weeks has been very lackluster, has been terrible. And the offense has been terrible the entire season. And yes, Carson Wentz sucked today. He definitely did. Even though he did have his moments in today where it was very few moments where he managed to put some good drives together. He did. But overall, the entire game, he sucked. The entire offense stunk tonight. Like I said earlier, offensive line could not protect Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, most of the time when he did have the room to move the ball, he either overthrew his targets or the receivers just couldn't get open. It was just that terrible of a night overall, offensively, for this Eagles team. It was just that bad overall. That bad. And they managed to get a touchdown somehow because Carson Wentz, the Eagles, they managed to put a good drive together. And it's funny, too, because going into this game, and Doug Peterson did say that Jalen Hurts was probably going to get more snaps today than in previous weeks. He definitely got more snaps because he got two. He got 2 snaps today, and one of them was without Carson Wentz. Oh God. Oh God, we're gonna be hearing it for more days about this whole Jalen Hurts thing. It's just it's like I said earlier. I'm not even mad. I think all the anger is just gone. It's just that I don't know. Like I said, I'm lost for words. I am completely lost for words with what happened. And just for the entire Jalen Hurts situation, it's just that it's not going to solve anything. Like, honestly, at this point, I want to see Jalen Hurts in there just so that he can prove the people that want him in and think that he's going to solve everything. I want that to prove people wrong. I just want people to see the harsh reality, even though the harsh reality is in front of our damn faces, because the team is broken. The team is absolutely broken. There is no fixing it right now. This entire team is broken offensively, even though the defense, that give them credit, they had a good game today. Offensively, the coaching staff is broken. The front office is broken. Jeffrey Lurie, he's been walking out on practices because he's been so pissed off. I think he didn't even go to the game against the Cleveland Browns last week because he's been so pissed off with the team's performance. And I think it was said during today's game, I think I saw it on Twitter, that he told Doug Peterson if Carson Wentz was struggling tonight to put Jalen Hurts in. And yeah, that does show you that Jeffrey Lurie is pissed off on the way his team is performing. It does. Like, I can understand putting in Jalen Hurts just to give the team just a different look. Get some type of something going. But just it's not going to solve anything because, one, he doesn't know the entire playbook. Doug hasn't given him a proper playbook to learn anything right now. I don't trust him to give him a proper playbook to prepare, and he's not going to throw him into a fire against these top teams. He wasn't going to throw him into the fire today against Seattle. He's not going to do it against Green Bay. He's not going to do it against New Orleans. You're not going to throw Jalen Hurts into the fire like that. You're just not going to. And in my opinion, Jalen Hurts is not that good. He's just not. And he's not going to solve any damn problem. I'm not saying Carson Wentz is protected from the hate that he's getting. He deserves the hate that he's getting right now because he has sucked the entire season. But Carson Wentz still, to me, in my opinion, is still far from the problem. Very far from the problem. He just is. Yeah, he sucks. He sucks in entirety this year. He's been awful. He's been the worst quarterback in the league. The worst. But I still feel like he's, and I hope people understand this, he's not the only problem. He is not the only problem with this team. The team is constructed terribly, and that blame goes to the front office and Howie Roseman. The coaching decisions, Doug Peterson. He has been terrible this season with play calling. And a lot of those terrible decisions have shown up in today's game. Terrible. Like in the third quarter, Eagles, they're on the 4th down. They have a chance to kick a field goal to make it a 1-score game. Doug tries to go for it on 4th down. Tries to go for it, and Carson Wentz throws an interception because of it. Why are you going for a touchdown when you can make it a 1-score game? And I think he said in his post-game press conference, they got to stay aggressive at all times. But you can make it a 1-score game. And like I said, the Eagles this entire game, they were in it the entire time. They kept shooting themselves in the foot by terrible decisions and just playing bad, just playing terrible the entire time. Yes, they were good drives that they put together. Definitely good drives that they put together. There were very few, though. And the drive at the end of the first half got a touchdown. Sadly, Jake Elliott missed the field goal. And then Seattle, they get more points. But then you have a chance to make it a one-score game. I think at that point it was 20-9. A field goal would make it 20-12. You'd be down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. You'd be down by a touchdown, basically. So, kick the field goal, you'd be down by a touchdown. But you try to go for the touchdown, and you throw an interception because of it, and then Seattle, they go and kick a field goal. And then you get the meaningless points at the end of the game. It's like I said, I'm speechless. I am absolutely I just don't know what to say. Because I'm just like lost for words at how broken this team is right now. On how broken. And there's nothing that you can do that can fix this team right now. You cannot. This team is by far broken. And they said it on the broadcast. They were talking about how can you rebuild this franchise because they are broken. Carson Wentz is broken. The offense is broken. Most of the time, the defense is broken. The entire team is broken from head to toe. It's that bad. That's how bad they are playing. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose the rest of their games. Because I don't see them beating Green Bay. I don't see them beating New Orleans. I think they also play Arizona in there. I don't see them beating Arizona. They didn't beat Washington at the first game of the season. And they got lucky against the Cowboys. I'm lost for words. Like I said, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's... I don't know. I have... It's such a weird situation that this team is in. It's such a weird situation. It's just that everything is bad. If you look at the stat line today, just everything is bad. Carson Wentz, 25 out of 45, 215 yards. Interception wasn't good today. The run game was basically non-existent. Like I said, they only had 14 carries this entire game. Dallas Goedert, he had a good game. I would say that he was the most targeted guy the entire night. And the one thing that's still confusing me right now, Alshon Jeffrey is getting more targets than I would say Travis Fulgham is, because Alshon Jeffrey, he had 4 targets today. And it's just like, with the receiving core in general, not like specifically going on Alshon Jeffrey, Travis Fulgham, and stuff like that. And like, there was one play too, it was on that play where the Eagles tried to go for it on 4th down. It was before that play. It was a pass that Carson Wentz threw into the Arizona. It was in the air. It was catchable, but it was to Jalen Reagor, and the ball landed in front of him. And it just looked like to me that he stopped running, and he didn't even try to make an attempt to catch the ball. That's been like one of the themes the entire season too, with the receiving core. They can't win the one-on-one battles. They can't find a way to break free in order to make it a play on those balls. They just cannot. Jalen Reagor, yeah, he made that. He got that one deep throw in game 1 of the season, in week 1. But he got injured. Right now, he needs to learn how to break 3 of those one-on-ones. He needs to find a way to learn how to make those big plays, how to break 3. Because on that play right there in the end zone, he wasn't able to break 3. He wasn't trying to make the fight to catch the ball. It just felt like he stopped running for a second right there. Because that throw right there, I don't blame on Carson Wentz. I blame him more on Jalen Reagor for not trying to get to the ball. Not being fast enough to get to the ball. And Jalen Reagor is very fast. He should have been able to catch up to that ball. It felt like he gave up on it a little bit. And yes, and Carson Wentz too. There was a lot of plays today where he was overthrowing people, underthrowing people, got sacked so many times. I think he got sacked, another 6 times today? Most sacked quarterback in the league. It's just, like I said, the entire team is broken. Broken. And I honestly don't know what to expect this upcoming week. Because we were getting the news, like I was talking about with Jeffrey Lurie earlier, that he's been pissed off with this team. He's been leaving practices early because of how poorly they've been playing in practice. He didn't go to the Cleveland game last week. And I'm just going to be, I guess, interested on if he actually does something this week, if he actually does pull a trigger on firing someone. You see a couple teams around the league this past week firing some of their teams. I think Detroit fired their GM and head coach. I think Jacksonville, they fired their GM. So I wonder, does Jeffrey Lurie go down that road? Does he fire a guy like Howie Roseman? Does he make the trigger and fire Doug Peterson? I don't see that happening. The one that's more likely to me, I see it happening with, is Howie Roseman, and I still feel like that chance is very slim at this point right now, just because firing a head coach right now, to me, firing Doug Peterson right now to me isn't the answer. Doug has been bad. Doug has been very bad. But I've been talking about this with my friends too, about this entire situation too. Like, we kind of believe that maybe Doug, see what Doug can do another year. Like, I know some people will think that's insanely crazy and Doug needs to get fired right now, but Doug is not good at play calling. The Eagles don't have an offensive coordinator this season, and it's been exposed. It's been really exposed. Doug Peterson is not good at making the offensive play calls. The Eagles need an offensive coordinator. Now, if the Eagles did have an offensive coordinator this season, would the offense be this bad? Maybe would Carson Wentz be this bad? Maybe if he had another coach to help him out better than what Doug Peterson is doing right now, would the offense be in this situation? I know that's hindsight right there, but like it's interesting to think about though. But like, if they had an offensive coordinator, would the offense be that bad? Would it? So like, those are question marks that you can talk about going towards the end of the season. But right now, it's just the team is so beyond broken. They are beyond broken to anything. The offensive line, you got Jason Peters playing with a broken body at this point on right guard. He is not playing his actual position, and his entire body is just broken. The entire offensive line, majority of their main guys are injured. I don't think Lane Johnson's coming back the rest of the season. He's going to be having surgery, I think, on his ankle. And then Zach Ertz, he was supposed to come back this week, but then Doug Peterson said he's going to need another week. So maybe Zach Ertz comes back against Green Bay. Even though slotting Zach Ertz into this mix, I don't think that's going to help at all, because Zach Ertz, honestly, before he got injured, wasn't that good either. So it's like I said, it's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be a very interesting week. And I'm just like, right now, I'm sick of getting mad at this team, because basically it's the same thing every week. But it's just like, to me, it's just like, I'm just in shock and awe how they were still in this game. Somehow they were still in this game because the defense stepped up today. And like I said, this Seattle, they're the highest scoring team in the league. They are going to get their points. And the Eagles somehow managed to hold them to 23 points. And the Eagles were still in this game. They lost by, 6 points? 6 points they lost by, even though that last touchdown and the 2-point conversion, when they were garbage time, those really didn't matter at all. I think, what was it, like a Hail Mary or something to Richard Rodgers or something like that? It was pointless. It was garbage points. Didn't matter at all to the score. Well, even though it did, but like, you know what I mean. Garbage time. Points don't matter to me. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what actually happens this week. Does Jeffrey Lurie do anything? Does he pull the trigger on anything? Does Jalen Hurts, do they say he's going to get more playing time like they did this week? And does he get more than 2 snaps this game for next game? Because I don't know. I don't want to get into that whole Jalen Hurts argument anymore. Like I said, I don't feel like he's not going to solve anything. And there's a lot of people out there that think he will. Just slotting him in there is going to solve everything. It's not going to. This team is there's way more problems right now. Carson Wentz is one of the problems, but he's by far the main problem right now. This entire team is broken. Broken. Absolutely broken. And I think that's going to do it for this review right here. So what are your thoughts on this Eagles loss to the Seahawks? What are your thoughts on the team in general? Because the entire team, like I said, is just absolutely broken. Just absolutely broken. So I want to hear your thoughts. So don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to go follow the Painted Lines, which I am partnered with right now. Their links will be in the description as well below. Their social media accounts, their YouTube page. Go check them out because it's a great page and they just surpassed 2,000 subscribers. So, good content right there. So, like I said, don't forget to leave the comment. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Hopefully, it won't be hell like tonight, but it probably will.